Hey everyone, it's Denise Brown from the Caregiving Years Training Academy. I am delighted to introduce you to a colleague and friend, Rayna, who's one of our presenters at our upcoming conference called Our Resilient Spirit. Rayna, good to see you. Thanks for being here today.
You too. Thank you for having me.
So I'm excited about your presentation, which is on Saturday, April 10th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And it sounds like it's based on your book, and your book is No Regrets, Hope for Your Caregiving Season. And that is also the title of your workshop. So tell us a little bit, tease us.
So I am outside of my caregiving season. I cared for my dad. He had a 14-year journey with Alzheimer's disease. And the last 4.5 years of his life, his request was to stay home as long as possible. And so I have one sister, so she and I negotiated that together, and we were able to keep him at home. And so I really feel like resilience was a huge part of what worked for us and helped us with that. So I was able to pull out some things that we used or I used throughout that 4.5 year period of that hands-on caregiving, and just am really excited to be able to share that with people.
I started thinking about resilience last October. We knew we were going to go into a long winter. We knew that the pandemic was going to be difficult for us. And I thought, well, how do we manage difficult situations? And then I was like, well, resilience is part of it. And until I started thinking about it, I really actually took it for granted.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, when did you realize that resilience is actually this great skill that helps you get from today to tomorrow?
Gosh, I don't know that I ever thought of the word in that way until it's something I've been hearing about it after my caregiving season. But I think for me, I used a lot of tools that help build resilience throughout the season. And one of those I would say was just, and I'm not talking about this in my presentation, but is reflection. I think that time of reflection, of kind of bringing myself out of the moment and just really thinking about how things were going, how I was feeling, what might have been bringing on those feelings, all of that kind of thing really helped me to be more resilient. And so as I looked back on that, I thought, that was building my resilience muscle. And I used that time. I actually lived 220 miles from where my dad lives. So each time that I was taking care of him, I had a long time after to think about what had gone well, what hadn't gone well, and that kind of thing. So
Yeah, I love this idea of reflection. And when I started thinking about resilience in October, I thought, there's going to be lessons learned for us throughout the winter. Let's use April as our time to really get together and say, this is what worked for me. So, in essence, it becomes this period of reflection for us at the
mhm.
conference to hear how others really look at resilience and use resilience so that you actually then can take it and use it going forward. So our virtual conference is April 9th and 10th. It's free. It is 12 hours, 6 hours each day. And if you need CEUs, if you're a nurse, if you're a certified dementia practitioner, if you're a certified senior advisor, you can get up to 12 CEUs for a flat fee of $20. So it's a good deal. So when you think about how you use the resilience that you learned during caregiving today, what comes to mind for you?
Really think for us as I think as human beings, we just want life to be easy, right?
Oh, yes, we
And
do.
it's so not. No matter what season you're in, there's challenges, and especially like we're learning, life with COVID kind of peaking at maybe being a little less scary as it's been. But I think the thing that I love about it is resilience is not the lack of stress. It's the ability to capture the stress and use that release of the stress to propel us forward. And so, really, when we look at every day, when we understand that the stress helps to make us or allows us to move forward, we can embrace the stress of the day, figure out how to release it, and move forward with it. And I think that's something we need to do every day in every situation.
Oh, I love that. What a great reframing to stick with our R theme,
Yes,
which is that we are not trying to pretend that stress doesn't exist.
exactly.
I think oftentimes we feel that pressure of being like, well, I'm just too sensitive. That's why I'm stressed out. But the reality is there's stress
Stress everywhere.
everywhere. And it's it's just then figuring out, okay, I am stressed. There's a reason I'm stressed.
Mhm.
And then what helps me move through that stress. I think about in my own personal caregiving experience, the stress has settled across my middle, which which expands, unfortunately.
Yes.
Gosh. So if we can think of a way to use our stress in a more healthful way, so to speak,
Mhm.
then it's good for our body and it's good for our soul.
Definitely.
So what's something that you do that's good for you every day that helps you stay resilient?
For me, it's starting my day. I actually listen to scripture on an app and then also praise music. So that spiritual feeding that I need every day. But I found, I had a tendency to be hard on myself if I didn't sit down and read. So I found that for me, the best routine is to actually listen. And so I have an app that I'm able to listen to the scripture throughout for a certain period during the day. And then I transition into some praise music. And that just helps my day get started.
Oh, I love that. So you had this idea that I should read scripture.
Yes. Yes.
And for you, that just doesn't work. And
Yep.
so to release that, that's another R word, to release that, say, I don't have to read it. I could actually listen to it.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Talk about the sensory experience. That's beautiful.
And just again, like you said, the shoulds always get us in trouble, don't they? They make us feel guilty, they weigh us down. So just releasing that should and finding is something that will work in my schedule and will work for me and be a strength for me. So listening's always been my strength. I'm definitely more of an auditory learner, so I like to do that. So incorporating that into my routine has really helped me a lot.
It's interesting. I was thinking about this on my daily walk that I should start listening to podcasts. Now, I am a podcaster, but for whatever
Me
reason, I
too.
haven't really gotten into the podcast. And I started going down that I should. Then I thought, well, I'm more of a writer, so the written word is what speaks to me. I hear the
Mhm.
written word, so to speak. So I decided to be more forgiving of myself for not being
There
able
you
to
go.
participate in that way. But I'm going to try it. I'm going to commit to just short podcasts that I think I can enjoy, maybe before dinner, something that feels like a ritual for me. Because what you
Hmm.
found is a ritual works for you to start your day.
Yes. Definitely. And rituals really do bring a lot of comfort, especially I think in caregiving seasons, because we have to be flexible. We have to go with the flow. And, my caregiving was with someone with Alzheimer's. And so what worked today didn't work tomorrow. So finding those rituals that really work for you that you can keep as consistent as possible helps to give you just a grounding and a peace that really you might lose a little bit during the day. So get a routine at night too.
I,
So,
you know, I totally agree with you. I think of those as anchors because
mhm,
caregiving will just put us out into swirls.
yes.
And then what anchors us, what helps us stay grounded. And I think if we can think of something to start and end the day that can help us feel like, okay, I wasn't a complete tornado the entire.
Yes.
I did touch ground. I did put my feet on the ground.
Yes.
Okay, so this is awesome. So Raina, I'm so excited about your workshop, which is going to be Saturday, April 10th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You are also the author of a book called No Regrets, Hope for Your Caregiving Season, and your podcast is A Season of Caring. So
Yes.
tell our audience how they can connect with you. What's your website?
My website is aseasonofcaring.com.
Oh, nice and easy. Nice and easy. Okay. All right. See you in a week and a half.
Yes. I'm excited.
So if you'd like to join us, go to caringourway.com. You can see the agenda for our event. You can connect with our workshop leaders like Rayna on our website, caringourway.com. And you can join us to RSVP. It's really easy. And then you can keep a schedule of which workshop is next. It's awesome. Okay, thanks everybody. See you April 9th and 10th at our Resilient Spirit Conference. Take care. Bye-bye.